Sam Worcester was a missionary sent by the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions to Cherokee territories in order to convert them to Christianity. He lived with his wife and 5 fellow missionaries on Cherokee Indian Territory adjacent to the state of Georgia. After much time of translating the Bible into Cherokee language and defending the sovereignty of the Cherokee Indians, he grew close and had created a friendship with Cherokee leaders. There were laws established by the state of Georgia in the 1800s prohibiting non-Indians from living on native territory, or stating that if a non-native were to live on the territory, they had to acquire a permit. Worcester and his missionaries did not follow these laws and refused to leave the land, as well as refused to apply for a government license allowing them to live there. Therefore, on July 7th, Worcester and his missionaries were arrested from his home. Here's live footage from the arrest.
Sam Worcester, I'm coming. How many pieces more? Oh, pieces this way. It's go time.
Oh, snap!
I'm coming!
You'll never catch me!
Stop! Get up! Let's go, you're coming with me.
Sam, why did you think it was alright for you and your family and your 5 fellow missionaries to stay on this property knowing that non-Indians were prohibited?
I mean, it's the 19th century. I think I should be able to live in the home that I've lived in for the past 10 years. You just can't take that away from me. I'm not moving. That's enough. I mean, as I was saying, I was sent here by the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions. People may know it as the ABCFM. For mission work, it's my job, it's my duty to be here, and I am not leaving.
So I have one question for you. In the law, it states that you could get a permit to stay in this land. Why did you and your fellow missionaries choose not to do that?
I chose to not obtain the permit because I thought that it was unconstitutional that they were trying to get me off the land where I was just doing my job.
We have been informed that over time you have created close acquaintances with multiple Cherokee leaders and even offered them political advice. What do you have to say about that?
No comment.
So, since you were one of the Cherokee leaders that had a close acquaintance with Sam Worcester, what can you tell us about your relationship?
Sam was a good man. He translated the Bible for us into the Cherokee language so that we could grow a relationship with God. He is not being kicked out of Indian Territory because of our rules. It's strictly the state government of Georgia that wants him out. Sam is my friend. He doesn't deserve this.
Worcester, clearly feeling wronged by the laws of Georgia, appealed his charges and took the issue to court. His trial began on February 20th, 1832. Worcester argued that Georgia overstepped their boundaries because they did not maintain jurisdiction to enforce the law within the native land. He claimed that his family's forced removal from the land was a direct violation of his constitutional rights. The state of Georgia argued that they were living within the Cherokee Nation, therefore were required to have a permit from the state, and he was disobedient to state government, therefore posed a threat to the stability of the government. After 13 days, the verdict was decided on March 3rd. Chief Justice John Marshall ruled in favor of Worcester and declared the laws of Georgia were repugnant to the Constitution, treaties, and laws, therefore null and void. He believed that the state of government of Georgia did not have the power to enforce a law within lands that were not in the jurisdiction of the state.
Although after the ruling, not everybody was happy. By the end of 1832, the situation became a stalemate.
Georgia would not release the missionary prisoners they arrested, and President Andrew Jackson would not enforce the decision, but rather putting it on Marshall, saying, "John Marshall has made his decision, now let him enforce it." Jackson disobeyed the court and still ordered the removal of the Cherokee, enforcing the Trail of Tears. This case was significant for federalism because it established that the states did not have the power to pass laws governing Native Americans, but rather it was the duty of the federal government.
All rise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Court is now in session. May the prosecution please state their opening statements.
My client, Sam Worcester, was removed from his home on Cherokee Nation for not abiding by the laws established in the Indian Removal Act that stated any non-Native American living on non-Native American territory had to have a permit from the government. Although the Cherokee Nation is a separate political entity that cannot be regulated by the state of Georgia, their license law is unconstitutional, and Worcester's conviction should be overturned because his removal was unconstitutional.
Order in the court. May the defense please state their opening statement. Now.
Samuel Worcester was a non-native Indian living directly in Cherokee territory within the state of Georgia. Therefore, he is required to abide by the laws established by the state of Georgia. These laws did not give him permission to live on this territory without a government-issued permit. Therefore, this man should be guilty of insubordination to the state government of Georgia.
Thank you, gentlemen. The jury will now take a short recess to decide the verdict of Samuel A. Worcester.
3 hours later.
The jury rules in favor of Samuel A. Worcester and Cherokee Nation under the belief that the state of Georgia has violated his 14th Amendment rights. The 14th Amendment does not allow any government in the United States from blocking a citizen's right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. And the state of Georgia has done this very act. Furthermore, this case deals with the Due Process Clause, which refers to the government's obligation to maintain and respect these legal rights. The United States government is thus required to treat all American citizens in a respectful manner. Any attempt to overstep their boundaries will be deemed a violation of the Constitution. Lastly, interactions between the Native American tribe and the state of Georgia must be considered and approached as international talks. Therefore, Cherokee Nation has the right to decide the fate of Samuel Worcester. Court adjourned.